Jessica Miller was clearing tables at Danny's diner when she saw him walk through the door, and what happened in the next 4 hours would change her life forever. December 18, 2023, downtown Seattle, 3rd Avenue. It was 11:47 p.m. The graveyard shift. Jessica had been working double shifts for 3 weeks straight. Christmas was coming, and her son needed new shoes. Her daughter needed winter clothes, single mother problems. But that night, something was different. A man walked in, baseball cap pulled low, hood up, sunglasses, even though it was almost midnight. He sat in the corner booth, the one near the kitchen, the one nobody wanted because it smelled like grease. Jessica grabbed her notepad and walked over. The man was looking at his phone. His hands were shaking slightly. She took his order. Black coffee, pancakes, extra syrup. Nothing unusual. Just another late-night customer trying to sober up or kill time. But then he did something strange. He stood up, walked to the window, stared outside for almost 10 minutes. And Jessica noticed what he was looking at. Across the street, under the bus stop shelter, there were people, homeless people, maybe 15 of them, huddled together, blankets wrapped around their shoulders. It was 28 degrees outside, freezing. The man came back to his booth, but he didn't touch his pancakes. He just kept staring out that window. Jessica had seen this before. Customers who couldn't eat. Customers with guilt in their eyes. Customers who looked at the homeless and saw themselves, or their parents, or their future. She had been there too. 3 years ago, after her divorce, after her ex-husband emptied their bank account and disappeared. She had been 2 weeks away from the streets. 2 weeks away from sleeping in her car with 2 kids in the back seat. A regular customer had saved her. Old man named Frank. He owned a construction company. Gave her a $2,000 loan. No interest, no contract, just trust. She paid him back over 6 months, every penny. But she never forgot. That's why she understood the look in this stranger's eyes. Let me tell you what Jessica didn't know. That man was Justin Bieber, and he was having the worst month of his life. 3 weeks earlier, Justin's mother Patty had been hospitalized. Heart problems. The doctors said she needed surgery, expensive surgery. And even though Justin had millions, even though he could afford anything, watching his mother in that hospital bed took him back, way back, to 1996, Stratford, Ontario. When Patty was a single mother, when they had nothing, when they ate at soup kitchens, when kind strangers gave them food. Justin remembered one night. He was 4 years old. His mother was crying in their tiny apartment. No food in the fridge, no money until Friday. And then someone knocked on their door. It was their neighbor, Mrs. Chen. She had brought soup, homemade soup, and bread, and she said something Justin never forgot. She said this: "For your boy. Everyone deserves a warm meal." That memory had been haunting Justin for 3 weeks, ever since his mother went into the hospital, ever since he realized how fragile everything was, how quickly life could change. And now he was sitting in this diner, staring at those homeless people across the street, and something inside him just broke. Jessica came back to refill his coffee, but Justin stopped her. He asked her a question, a strange question. How much would it cost to feed everyone in this restaurant? Jessica looked around. There were maybe 8 customers, late-night crowd, truckers mostly, a couple of college kids studying. She did quick math in her head. Maybe $200? $300 if everyone ordered big. Justin shook his head. That wasn't what he meant. He pointed out the window. Those people. How much to feed all of them? Jessica's heart started beating faster. Was this guy serious? She counted. 15 people outside. Full meals, coffee, dessert, maybe $500 total. Justin pulled out his phone, started typing. Then he looked up at Jessica. He said this: "I want to buy the entire restaurant. For the next 4 hours, I want you to bring every single one of those people inside. Feed them whatever they want. Unlimited. Hot food, coffee, pie, everything." Jessica thought he was drunk, or high, or joking. But then he showed her his phone screen, a bank transfer confirmation, $10,000, sent directly to Danny's diner business account. Jessica's hands started shaking. $10,000? For what? This had to be some kind of scam. Justin saw her confusion. He took off his sunglasses, and that's when Jessica recognized him. Her mouth fell open. "Oh my God. You're Justin Bieber." Justin put his finger to his lips. "Please, don't say anything. I just want to help." Quietly. "Can you do this?" Jessica nodded, still in shock, still not believing this was real. She ran outside, approached the homeless people carefully. Some of them were sleeping, some were awake but suspicious. She told them, "There's hot food inside, free. As much as you want. Someone paid for everything." They didn't believe her at first. "Free food? What's the catch?" "No catch. Just come inside, get warm, eat." One man laughed. "Lady, nothing's free. What do you want from us?" Jessica understood. She had been skeptical too. When Frank offered her that loan, she thought he wanted something. Everyone always wanted something. She pulled out her phone, showed them the bank transfer, $10,000, real money, real food, no strings. Slowly, one by one, they came. 15 people, men and women, young and old. They shuffled into Danny's diner. Some hadn't been inside a restaurant in years. And here's where the story gets incredible. Justin had cleared out the regular customers, paid for their meals, gave them gift cards, asked them politely to leave. He wanted the restaurant completely private. Now it was just Jessica, the cook, and 15 homeless people. Justin went to each person, introduced himself, shook their hands, asked their names, asked what they wanted to eat. One woman named Patricia started crying. She said this, "I haven't sat in a real restaurant in 4 years." 4 years. A man named Michael ordered 3 cheeseburgers, then apologized, said he was too greedy. Justin told him to order 5, order 10, whatever he wanted. A young mother named Carmen had her 7-year-old daughter with her. The little girl stared at the menu like it was a treasure map. She whispered to her mother, "Can I really order anything?" Carmen's eyes filled with tears. She looked at Justin. "Thank you. You don't know what this means." But Justin did know. He remembered being that little girl, staring at menus, knowing his mother couldn't afford it, feeling ashamed, feeling invisible. Jessica was running back and forth, taking orders. The cook was overwhelmed but working fast. Burgers, steaks, pasta, soup, salad, pie, coffee, hot chocolate. And Justin sat with them. Every single person. He listened to their stories. Patricia had been a teacher, lost her job during COVID, lost her apartment, ended up on the streets. Michael was a veteran, PTSD, couldn't hold down work, family had abandoned him. A young girl named Amy, just 19, ran away from an abusive home, been homeless for 6 months. Justin listened, really listened. And something was happening to his face. His eyes were getting red, his voice was cracking. But here's the part nobody expected. Around 1:30 a.m., Jessica brought out dessert, apple pie, ice cream. And she made an announcement. She said this, "I want to thank whoever paid for tonight. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." Everyone clapped. They assumed it was an anonymous donor. They didn't know Justin Bieber was sitting right there with them, baseball cap still on, hood still up. But then Patricia did something that changed everything. She looked at Justin, really looked at him, and her eyes went wide. She stood up, walked over to his table, and she said this, "I know you. You're that boy. From the news. From 10 years ago." Justin froze. "What?" Patricia pulled out her phone, started scrolling through old photos, and then she showed him. It was a news article from 2013, Stratford, Ontario. A story about a local boy who made it big, a story about his mother, Patty, and there was a quote in the article. Patty had said this, "When Justin was 4, we had nothing. Our neighbor Mrs. Chen saved us. She brought us soup every week. I'll never forget her kindness." Patricia's hands were shaking. She said this, "That was my mother. Mrs. Chen was my mother." The entire restaurant went silent. Justin stood up. His face had gone completely white. "What?" Patricia was crying now. "My mother died 5 years ago, but before she died, she told me about you. About the little boy next door, about your mother Patty. She said you were going to do great things." Justin couldn't speak. His throat had closed up. Tears were streaming down his face. Patricia continued, "My mother always said this. When you help someone, you never know how far that kindness will travel. You never know who that person will become." And at that moment, Jessica pulled out her phone. She had been recording. Just a little bit, Just the moment when Patricia recognized Justin. Just those 30 seconds of raw emotion. Justin didn't know. He was too overwhelmed, too emotional. Patricia hugged him, this old homeless woman, hugging a global superstar, and she whispered this. My mother would be so proud. You're doing exactly what she did, feeding people, caring for strangers. Justin completely broke down, full-on crying, sobbing, his whole body shaking, and that's when Jessica made a decision. She posted the video, just 30 seconds, Justin Bieber crying, hugging a homeless woman. Caption said this, "Tonight a stranger bought our entire restaurant to feed the homeless. Then this happened. He found the daughter of the woman who saved him as a child." The video went live at 2:14 a.m. By 3:00 a.m., it had 100,000 views. By 6 a.m., 2 million views. By noon, 50 million views. The internet exploded. People were crying, sharing, commenting. Everyone wanted to know more. News outlets picked it up. TMZ, CNN, BBC. Homeless man feeds homeless people turns out to be Justin Bieber, who was once homeless himself. But here's what made it go completely viral. People started investigating Danny's diner, started looking at security footage from previous months, started asking questions, and they discovered something incredible. Justin had been doing this for 2 years. Every single month, different city, different restaurant, always late at night, always anonymous, always feeding homeless people. Seattle, Portland, Denver, Phoenix, Dallas, Chicago, Boston, Miami, 24 cities, 24 restaurants, 2 years. Restaurant owners came forward. He paid us $10,000 each time, told us to feed everyone, never wanted credit, never took photos, just helped and left. The total? Justin had spent over $2 million, feeding thousands of homeless people, completely in secret, and nobody knew. Not his management, not his publicist, not even his wife. Within 3 days, the story was everywhere. Late night shows, morning shows, podcasts. Everyone was talking about it. But Justin didn't want interviews, didn't want press. He released one video from his home, looking exhausted but peaceful. He said this, "That video wasn't supposed to come out. I didn't do this for attention. I did it because someone once did it for me. Mrs. Chen fed my family when we had nothing. She didn't ask for thanks. She didn't post about it. She just helped. That's what real kindness is. Quiet. No cameras. No credit." He paused. And I want to say this. Patricia is not staying homeless. I've set her up in an apartment, 1 year paid in advance, and I'm working with organizations in every city to create permanent solutions, not just meals, real housing, real help. The video ended, and people lost their minds. Donations poured in. People wanted to help, wanted to contribute. A foundation was created, Chen's Kitchen, named after Mrs. Chen, dedicated to feeding and housing homeless populations. Within 6 months, $47 million was raised. 53 permanent housing facilities were opened. Thousands of people got off the streets. And here's what nobody expected. Carmen, the young mother with the 7-year-old daughter, became the first graduate of Chen's Kitchen Job Training Program. She learned culinary skills, got certified. Now she works as a sous chef at a hotel in downtown Seattle. Her daughter goes to a good school. They have an apartment, stability. Michael, the veteran, got connected with PTSD treatment programs funded by the foundation, 6 months of therapy, job placement assistance. He now works as a counselor for other veterans experiencing homelessness, helping people who were exactly where he was. Amy, the 19-year-old, went back to school, full scholarship through Chen's Kitchen Education Fund. She's studying social work, wants to help kids escape abusive homes, wants to be the person she needed when she was younger. Today, December 2024, Patricia works at Chen's Kitchen in Seattle. She helps coordinate meal programs. She tells everyone about her mother, about kindness, about second chances. Jessica still works at Danny's diner, but now she's the manager. Justin bought the restaurant, turned it into a training center. Homeless people learn cooking skills, get job placement, get dignity back. And Justin, he still shows up. Late at night, baseball cap, hood up, sits in that corner booth, orders pancakes, extra syrup. But now he's not alone. Patricia sits with him. They talk about Mrs. Chen, about soup, about how one warm meal can change everything. The video of Justin crying has 847 million views now. It's the most shared celebrity video in history. And in the comments, Thousands of people share their own stories about helping strangers, about being helped, about kindness, because that's what this story really is. Not about a celebrity, not about fame. It's about a 4-year-old boy who got soup from a neighbor and grew up to feed the world, quietly. Until one waitress recognized the daughter of the woman who started it all. And that moment, that recognition, that connection, made even Justin Bieber cry.